What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? If you're not paying attention to what's been going on this week, you are seriously missing out because things are moving fast. We've got a contract situation with Kelce that looks nothing like what the media is reporting, and trust me, the real numbers are going to raise some eyebrows. Then there's a quiet visit happening behind the scenes with a draft prospect who could be the next big thing at tight end. And on top of all that, a starter just got cut loose in a move nobody saw coming. Hit that like button and let's get into it. Starting with Kelce's contract, because nothing is what it seems. Alright, let's talk about the Travis Kelce contract situation, because depending on where you got your news this week, you might think the man just signed a massive 3-year extension worth over $50 million. And look, if that's what you heard, it's not your fault. That's exactly what was put out there. But here's the thing, it's not the full picture, and one of the loudest voices in Chiefs media is calling it out hard. Ian Rappaport, who runs one of the most followed NFL accounts on X with over 5 million followers, broke the news that Kelce had agreed to a 3-year deal in the $55 million range, potentially maxing out at $57.7 million. He even gave a shout out to Kelce's agent Mike Simon for getting the deal done. Sounds great, right? Big money, big commitment, everybody's happy. Except, not exactly. Fox Sports analyst Nick Wright, who is openly a diehard Chiefs fan, went on his podcast What's Right and absolutely torched that report. According to Wright, what Kelce actually signed is a de facto 1-year deal worth $12 million, with 2 additional void years tacked on purely to spread out the dead cap hit in case Kelce decides to hang it up before those years kick in. That's it. There's no real $40 million balloon payment coming down the line. As Wright put it himself, there's absolutely no shot that number ever gets paid out, and everyone inside the league already knows it. Wright didn't hold back either. He made it clear that this isn't just a case of confusing NFL contract language. He believes Rappaport knowingly posted misleading information because agents feed reporters flattering numbers in exchange for future access. If your goal is to inform the public, Wright said, then you cannot willingly put out intentionally wildly misleading information because you want the guy who runs Milk and Honey Sports to owe you a favor. That's a direct shot, and it landed. So what does this actually mean for the Chiefs? Well, the void years are a classic Brett Veach cap maneuver. By spreading the signing bonus across multiple years, even fake ones, Kansas City lowers Kelce's 2026 cap hit significantly. But if Kelce retires after this season, all that dead money accelerates right onto the 2027 books. Translation, the Chiefs are clearly in last dance mode. They're squeezing every bit of their championship window while Mahomes, who is currently rehabbing a torn ACL, works his way back. Kelce, now 36 years old, put up 861 yards and 5 touchdowns last season. The man can still play, but this deal tells you everything about the timeline. 1 year, 1 more run. That's the bet Kansas City is making. And speaking of Kelce's future, but the Chiefs aren't just thinking about this season. They're already making moves for what comes next. And there's a tight end prospect with a wild combine story who just got an invitation to Kansas City. This one caught me off guard. Look, nobody replaces Travis Kelce. Let's just get that out of the way right now. But if the Chiefs are going to keep this offense elite after he's gone, they need to start planning. And it looks like Brett Veach is already doing exactly that. The name to know heading into the 2026 NFL Draft at the tight end position is Oscar Delp out of Georgia, and Kansas City has officially scheduled a top 30 pre-draft visit with him. That's a big deal. Now, if you haven't been following Delp's pre-draft journey, you need to hear this story, because it's genuinely wild. At the NFL Scouting Combine in Indianapolis, Delp was scratched from all workouts after a routine medical check revealed a hairline fracture in his foot. The crazy part? He had been playing through that injury for the entire 2025 college football season without anyone knowing. Didn't miss a game, didn't say a word, just competed through it. He couldn't work out in Indy due to liability concerns, but 3 weeks later at Georgia's Pro Day, Delp showed up and went to work. He ran a 4.48 40-yard dash, posted a 38.5-inch vertical, and hit a 120-inch broad jump. Run those numbers through the analytics, and you're looking at a 97th percentile speed score and an 89th percentile burst score among combined participants going all the way back to the year 2000 at 245 pounds. That's not a tight end who just catches passes. That's a weapon. At 6'5", and with that kind of athleticism, Delp fits what Andy Reid actually needs. This isn't just about being a big target over the middle. Reid's offense requires tight ends who can block, in line, in motion, in the run game. So the play-action system operates the way it's supposed to. Delp is described by scouts as a true 3-down tight end, and his drop rate of just 4.1% in college tells you his hands are reliable. Yes, he spent most of his Georgia career in the shadow of Brock Bowers, and that limited his raw stat line. 70 receptions, 854 yards, 9 touchdowns over 4 seasons. But the tape shows a complete player. The Chiefs have a history of betting on guys with medical flags. Josh Simmons came off a patella injury last year. Trey Smith was a 6th-round steal back in 2021 because of heart concerns. Both took pre-draft visits to Kansas City. Both turned into key contributors. Delp fits that exact profile, and bringing him in alongside Kelce for a season of development could be exactly how this transition gets handled the right way. But while the Chiefs are building for the future, they also just made a brutal present tense decision, cutting a starter who was making $20 million a year. And the reason why makes total sense once you see the numbers. The Kansas City Chiefs have officially released offensive tackle Jawan Taylor, and honestly, as surprising as it felt when it dropped, the more you look at the details, the more you understand why it had to happen. Taylor came to Kansas City in 2023 on a 4-year, $80 million deal. That's serious money for a position that doesn't always get the spotlight, but protecting Patrick Mahomes is the most important job on this roster. Full stop. The problem is that Taylor never really justified that price tag in Kansas City, and the reason comes down to one word: penalties. In 4 seasons with the Jacksonville Jaguars, Taylor racked up 38 penalties. In just 3 seasons with the Chiefs, he surpassed that number with 40. He led the league in holding and illegal formation calls for the 2nd consecutive year in 2025. For a team that operates on rhythm, precision, and explosive plays, that kind of discipline problem is poison. Every flag resets the down, kills momentum, and puts Mahomes in a hole he has to dig out of. Championship-level teams don't have room for that. Then there's the financial piece. By cutting Taylor, the Chiefs freed up $20.1 million in cap space heading into the 2026 season. Yes, there's dead money that stays on the books, but the net gain is significant. That's real flexibility, enough to sign a veteran bridge tackle, address the wide receiver room after Hollywood Brown departed to Philadelphia, or go heavy at the position in a draft class that is legitimately deep at offensive tackle. Kansas City holds the 9th and 29th picks, and both could realistically land a blue-chip lineman. Wanya Morris and a few other younger options are already on the roster and could compete for the starting job, but nobody expects Veach to leave that spot unaddressed. Protecting Mahomes, especially as he returns from a torn ACL, is the non-negotiable. Taylor's release isn't a step back, it's the Chiefs clearing the path to do it right. So let's be real. The Chiefs are all in on 2026, restructuring around a 1-year Kelce deal, hunting for his successor in the draft, and rebuilding the line that protects Mahomes. But with so many moving parts, can this roster actually compete for a title? Drop your take below and subscribe so you don't miss a single move from Chiefs Kingdom.